This is addressing all of the theories out there that say that Charlie Kirk's death was fake and that it was staged. First of all, I want to play a little bit of this video.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, His grace uncrowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
So what you don't understand, what a lot of people don't get, is that Charlie Kirk wasn't just a Christian. He picked up the cross and he went around preaching the gospel. He was doing God's work. And someone like that is not going to just all of a sudden throw away all their morals, values, and principles and go underground or whatever, go into the place where people go into the witness protection program and risk having a life with his family and be afraid and not back down. That's what Charlie stood for. Like, he literally went right into the lion's den every time he went out there and did a speech on these campuses with kids that have been pushed and indoctrinated with all this garbage. And he went into any kind of climate with, he was bold with everything that he did. He didn't back down. And so for people to say that he all of a sudden just dropped everything and faked his death, like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? You know, and is he coming back, or is he going to be gone forever? The thing with these theories is that nobody can ever answer those questions. And I watched this video that was one of those mega theories about it, and they're saying that only about 10% of the collective will understand this theory, that it's a white hat military operation, and it was all to basically disclose and reveal who was who. And so we're seeing who was against who's on what team, all these things, as if we couldn't figure that out without a brutal death, a public execution style death, and someone throwing away their life and going underground to live another life. And the other factor is that he's a Christian, and lying is a sin. And leaving your family is a sin. A lot of people that are pushing these theories don't understand what being a Christian is, especially someone with as strong of faith and as strong of a walk in Christ that Charlie had. He absolutely put his family first, and he was covering for his family. So he's not going to just all of a sudden disappear out of their life or take a chance of not being able to watch his kids grow up and lie to the public about things. There's all these theories about, like, oh, it wasn't the same person during this and this and this. And that's the thing, like, that's a huge sin in a Christian community. Like, you're not supposed to lie. And if you do, that's an open door for the enemy to come in and mess with you. So that's another factor people really aren't thinking about. And the other thing people aren't thinking about is that there are others involved in this. He has 2 children, as you just saw. He has a wife. He's young. He wasn't trying to cut his life short anytime soon, you know, and you have all these reputable people like Victor Marx filming from backstage of her address to the nation about her husband. And then you have all these people ripping her apart, like, oh, she should have been like this, she should have been like that, and why did she react to this? She didn't seem, she was smiling, and just ripping her apart. It's so gross. Like, who are you or I to judge how someone should act when their husband was publicly executed and I mean, one, she's in shock. Two, she's a public figure. Three, she is angry. She's going through a slew of emotions, and here people are just trying to judge her every single move. And I think it's just really sad. You know, we become so desensitized as a society to what death is, and just seeing stuff like this violence occur in our everyday life and just witnessing it. And this is trauma-based mind control. We're gonna continue to see things like this, and probably on a bigger grand scale, because the beast is losing and it's flailing around as it dies, and it's just gonna take out as many people as it can with them. Not just like killing. I'm not saying it's gonna try to kill everybody, but it's gonna try to take out people with its tail. You know, it's going to whip people around and really test people's emotions, and ultimately turning everyone closer and closer to God. So, you know, God always wins in the end, but we are not in a very fun play out, you know, of biblical times. And none of us really know how it's going to end, but we do know that Jesus is coming and Jesus wins. You know, Jesus is coming to kick butt and set the captives free. Don't get me wrong. I think that we should absolutely question everything. I think there was a lot of really shady elements to the case and a lot of weird stuff. You know, like they're putting cement over the area where he was shot. They're covering everything right away. And people are saying like, oh, why are they treating it like a movie set instead of a crime scene? And it's like, well, that's what the government does. That's what they've done with everything. That, you know, the Vegas shooting, when there was no camera footage, all of a sudden in Vegas, where there's a camera like every 3 feet, you know, and this is what they do. They just cover up stuff and they just tell us lies. And there was a couple of cameras actually that caught things up close and clearly. And there was one behind him. And if that footage doesn't come out to the public or someone reputable that we trust to see exactly what happened, that's a big red flag. And I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope that there is like this slew of characters that are really alive, and within like less than a year, they're all going to come out and be like, surprise, I'm really alive. Like, we just had to fake this to do X, Y, and Z. But I really don't think that's the case. I really think that Charlie Kirk has passed, and he did such a great job in his mission here on earth. You know, he started at a young age, and God lifted him up to do exactly what he did, and look at the movement it's causing. That's the thing, that these people don't think about how God moves and what this means, like what kind of tidal wave this has poured out into the collective and the movement and the heart that is opened for Charlie Kirk and the work that he's done, and his voice. His voice is even stronger than ever now, times a million. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.